Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So here it is, guys, the numbers for quarter four, what we are expected to see if Bitcoin does perform in the same way that it has performed in previous quarter fours throughout history. Now you guys can see the Bitcoin halving years, 168.02% in 2020, and the one before that, 58.17% in 2016. It's interesting because I just want to bring your attention to the following year when we did see the euphoria phase. In 2017, we did see a whopping 215.07%, but in 2021, we only saw 5.45%, and that was because Bitcoin did form this double topping pattern where 2021 was a bit different than what we're used to seeing. Nevertheless, guys, this is a halving year, and we're getting into quarter four in, a week? So it's looking very, very promising here. Lady of Crypto here mentioning the average Bitcoin gain in quarter four is 88%. So that is the average when you average them all up. If we hit that average, that is a 120,000 Bitcoin. I'll let you imagine what that means for altcoins. Guys, if we do see a move like this, this is going to be, well, I'm sure you can just imagine. So as we've been talking about, Bitcoin has been forming this reaccumulation pattern over the last 6 months or so. Let's see how long it's taken so far since that most recent high. Almost 200 days, 196 days of, pretty much moving sideways, but in a downward fashion, making lower lows and lower highs on the chart. People who aren't really paying attention, they're thinking, oh, is this it? Is this, the bear market has now started? Nope, not at all. The best part has yet to come. And over the last few days, guys, we have seen some nice movement on the Bitcoin chart in terms of getting back up very, very close to this former high, okay? So the former high here was 65,100, and we are pretty much less than a percentage point from there. Okay, we did reach that high yesterday. We're about half a percentage point from that former high. So hopefully today we see that happen. Today, Bitcoin is trading a little lower today, but still doing okay. Bitcoin is trading in and around 63,600 on the hourly. You guys can see the trend is pretty healthy so far. We're just, moving up and down, up and down. I think ultimately, though, we do have enough factors in our favor for Bitcoin to get up above that $65,000 mark. It was only 0.5% from yesterday's high, and only about 2.3% from where we're trading right now. So it's looking very, very promising, guys. You know what this is going to mean for altcoins? Probably that we're going to see an explosion there too. As you guys can see, sentiment is creeping up very, very steadily. We're at 53 right now. The market cap is sitting at 2.24 trillion, so that's up by a little bit. 24-hour volume is up too. Dominance is sitting at 56.2%. We've been seeing a steady trickle come into the market. Bitcoin over the last 24 hours only up 0.2%. Some of these altcoins down a little bit, but some of these altcoins are actually seeing some significant gains. You can see some of the best performers in the top 10 include Solana up 2.30%, and Toncoin also up 2.30% as of the time of this recording. Cardano is up 3.05%. So some of these cryptocurrencies have done fairly well over the last 7 days, specifically like Ethereum up 13.7%. Solana is also one of those in that category, 15.9%, and Cardano as well, 15.07%. So guys, if you look at the 7-day totals here, we are starting to see double-digit gains for a lot of these cryptocurrencies. This is looking very, very positive for the general market. XRP likely to take off as soon as we see that catalyst, as soon as we start to see a lot of these coins make double-digit gains. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, what's left? XRP? Pump it, baby. Because the other thing that happens too that you guys have to remember is that, a lot of these coins start rallying, and then money's pumped into these coins, and then the next one goes, and then the next one goes, and the next one goes, and then people start to realize, well, what hasn't gone yet? XRP tends to be the last one, last and fast, as they say. And so, if you just take a look at what happened in 2017 for XRP, at this point in time here, this is when a lot of the coins had already seen a lot of their gains, and then XRP just shot up pretty much within weeks, went to a new all-time high back in 2018, early 2018. So let's hope we see something similar, guys. The landscape surrounding cryptocurrency is slowly shaping up too. This one coming from Chad Steingraber here. Boy, Congress had, just as an aside here, Congress had a heck of a day yesterday. We're going to get into that too today. But here, I just wanted to mention this. Chad Steingraber posted this. So BNY Mellon, we've talked about them in the past. I've done a video on this particular company fairly recently, which I will post up here in the top right-hand corner. BNY Mellon, which is a Ripple partner, to become the first bank to custody crypto assets for ETFs. So this is the latest news, guys, coming from BNY Mellon. They are now able to custody crypto assets. They're moving closer to rolling out crypto custody services for Bitcoin and Ethereum held by exchange-traded product clients after a review enabled the company to avoid treating the assets as a balance sheet liability. So it was done by the proper bodies here. They did not object to BNY's determination that the safeguarding of crypto assets for its regulated exchange-traded product clients shouldn't be recognized on BNY's balance sheet. The bank said in a statement to Bloomberg on Tuesday, the SEC's SAB 121 rule impressed the balance sheet requirements to provide clarity on crypto-related risks, but banks argue it locks them out of custodying digital assets, a potentially lucrative business. So that's the thing, right? A lot of these banks, they want to get into all facets of crypto asset, in the crypto asset industry. So the trading, the custody, the real world utility, I'm sure at some point too. As a result, the no objection does not solve the issue of SAB 121, effectively restricting bank custody of digital assets. This is what BNY said. They will similarly engage with the OCA on additional use cases through the OCA's facts and circumstances process as appropriate. So BNY will engage, they have engaged, and will continue to engage its banking regulators to offer custody services for crypto ETP clients at scale. So, it is now going to be a battle of the institutions. All these guys want to be on the same page. Nobody wants to be left out. Could you imagine if you decided, well, we're not going to dabble in cryptocurrencies, and we're, and it was BNY Mellon saying that. Meanwhile, BlackRock, for example, is all in on cryptocurrencies. You don't want that for your business. So, now that this is getting more and more regulated, we're going to start to see more and more big banks really kind of push hard. I mean, it's no coincidence. If they're seeing their competitors doing it, they are going to want to do it too. So the custody service of cryptocurrencies, they're all realizing, okay, this is the next asset sector. What do we have to do to be fully regulated? And BNY Mellon is working towards that goal. So wanted to thank Chad for posting that. Along those same lines, guys, I happened to notice this too, okay? A few people sent me this, including Ian Binns. XRP highlighted in Swift's recent collaboration. So what's at stake here? The blockchain and crypto communities are closely watching the recent collaboration between the Swift Payments Network and R3, which can settle in XRP, by the way. Cryptocurrency enthusiast XRP Avenger was the original one to retweet out this document. Now, this document is an older document, but it does mention this. Swift mentions XRP as a bridge currency for over 11,000 banks. Okay, only 10% of Swift's system would catapult XRP to over $1,000. This coming from Jack the Rippler here. But, I think the most interesting part here is the fact that these companies are realizing, okay, working together, I think is going to get us further than being in competition with one another. That was, kind of the sentiment in 2018 and 2019. But now it's about the cooperation. Swift GPI expansion, okay, the common interest to build a settlement capability for DLT ecosystems. They are collaborating with R3, which again can settle in XRP. But also, guys, take a look down here. Transfer of funds on Corda. We have Swift GPI, but we also have cryptocurrencies that can do this, including XRP. So this was a document unearthed by XRP Avengers, but I do remember seeing this document a few years ago. Regardless, it is great to remind us that, guys, this is the direction this is all moving in. The fact that we don't have this implemented yet is purely because we just don't have the clear regulatory clarity yet. But guys, XRP already in talks to be part of this financial system. Even if they do decide to go with Swift GPI or Corda Settler, there could be somewhere down the chain, somebody will have to use XRP as a cross-border currency. And again, the way the XRP ledger does work, it leverages the most native solution for the potential problem. And 9 times out of 10, that solution is XRP, considering it is the native currency to the XRP ledger. So you got to think to yourself, if they're using the XRP ledger, chances are something is going to be running through XRP at a certain point. So anyway, wanted to thank Jack the Rippler and Ian Binns. There's also this, guys, from Smoke, BRICS de-dollarization roadmap to be revealed at the BRICS Summit, and that is coming up next month, October 2024. The main purpose of Project Enbridge is to enable countries to bypass the dollar. And we know about Ripple's connection with Enbridge. Check this out. The main purpose of Enbridge is to enable its users to bypass the existing US-centric financial system. So basically, de-dollarization, in other words. They use an example here talking about the UAE dirhams and the Icelandic kroner. So you can use Enbridge to swap the two, assuming these banks are part of the Enbridge system. This removes the US dollar as the bridge currency and removes intermediary banks from the transfer and removes SWIFT from the equation as well. The significance of this is that it facilitates international trade by removing the US dollar as a bridge currency. This also means that the tens of trillions of dollars of demand coming from large forex transfers would disappear. This means that demand for US dollar falls, the eventual full operation of Enbridge, and in time, the similarly conceived BRICS bridge is awaited by a significant number of countries. So we know many countries have jumped on the BRICS bandwagon. If they're not already joined to BRICS, they are applying to be members of BRICS. Of course, at first I feel like, the BRICS, they were like, yeah, sure, come on in. We appreciate you being part of the alliance. But now I feel like they're being a little bit more selective. So I guess we'll see, how this ends up evolving over time. Wanted to thank Smoke for posting that. And did you see this from Anders? Even the SEC understands the important role of speculators and speculative volume in trading up XRP flywheel so that XRP can be used in Ripple's products. So the SEC apparently did describe this in one of their court documents. On or around April 9, 2017, Garlinghouse emailed Ripple's board members that a dramatic spike in XRP price and market activity was the most significant development for Ripple in this past quarter. Now, you guys got to remember that was back in here, okay? April 2017. This boosts volume, boosts trading, boosts everything. So when price goes up, it boosts everything. Basically, everybody's happy. They say here, speculative and market trading volume build the liquidity needed for Ripple's planned use for XRP, such that speculative and market trading volume are the catalyst to the XRP flywheel. And the SEC did recognize this. So if there will be a big speculative rise in price of XRP along with a natural rise in trading volume, this will help immensely in using XRP for such things as ODL. From the SEC lawsuit itself, not sure why the B players at the SEC included this since I don't see the issue at all. So this is just an observation from Anders. It feels like the SEC was in defensive mode yesterday. All five of them were defending themselves in front of Congress. Eleanor Turret here posting the updates from yesterday. Okay, GOP Majority Whip blasts Gary Gensler about the debt box case, asks if he was embarrassed about it. Gensler did respond, the situation was handled badly.
It's been recently reported that Vice President Harris has finally said she'd craft clear rules of the road for the digital asset space if she becomes president. Is this your approach too, sir? Or do you think she's rebuking you because she doesn't think you've done a good enough job establishing these clear rules over the last 3 years of her administration?
I think that there's laws in place. If Congress wishes to change them, they'll change them. But we are enforcing the laws, and there are many people in this field
so you don't
that are
think
not
she's
following
rebuking
the laws.
Reclaiming my time. Well, it's very interesting that you view your performance that way, because we have a litany of court cases, extraordinary confusion in the marketplace, and millions of Americans pining for clarity from you. You've abused the agency's enforcement tools, and you've even baited companies eager to comply with you, only to hit them with enforcement actions. You've retaliated against businesses and people who have come before this committee to talk about the next generation of American finance. And perhaps somehow, worst of all, you've made up the term crypto asset security. This term is nowhere to be found in statute. You made it up. You never provided any interpretive guidance on how crypto asset security might be defined within the walls of your SEC. Yet, you made the broad proclamation that you believe a majority of tokens are crypto asset securities. You did this, and you would deliberately use this made-up term as the basis for your entire enforcement crusade over the past 3 years, only for your lawyers to retract it in a footnote to a court just last week. Your inconsistencies on this issue, sir, have set this country back. We could not have had a more historically destructive or lawless chairman of the SEC.
Shots fired, although many are saying too little too late. Why hasn't Congress done something sooner? I'm not going to read all the criticisms here in the response, but I think you guys get the point. But like I said, Eleanor Turret was on top of this yesterday, following all of it. So there's some other clips here that I wanted to show you guys, just highlighting some of the most important moments from yesterday's Congress hearing. A lot of topics were discussed, like the SEC's handling of, everything cryptocurrency. They discussed specific topics too, like NFTs. I think I found a pretty good sampling from many of these different commissioners here. SEC Commissioner Hester Pur explains how the SEC has targeted crypto by providing zero clarity. She's always been critical of the Gary Gensler administration. Listen to this.
I think what's happening is that we're trying to be ambiguous because the legal precision carries with it real implications. And this is why people have been coming to us and saying we need clarity. Is the token itself a security? Or is it part of an investment contract? Is it being sold together with an investment contract? If it is, what is that investment contract and how long does it track along with the token? By using imprecise language, we've been able to sort of suggest that the token itself is a security apart from that investment contract, which has implications for secondary sales. It has implications for who can list it. And I think this is absolutely, we've fallen down on our duty as a regulator not to be precise. And so tucking into a footnote that, yes, we admit that now actually the token itself is not a security, that's something that we should have admitted long ago and then started wrestling with the difficult questions.
Right. It was too ambiguous, and we should have basically stated right from the get-go that cryptocurrencies are not securities, just as a blanket statement. That coming from Hester Pur. Now, this one, courtesy of Jungle Inc., SEC Commissioner Ueda describes the current state of the SEC under Gary Gensler as below average. Now, keep in mind, he worked there for 18 years or has worked there for 18 years.
And you said, if I wrote here, you said under Chair Gensler, it was below average. Why did you use that word below average?
For a number of years, I worked on rulemakings. We spent a lot of time preparing, for instance, very detailed summaries of the public comment file. We spent a lot of time and effort on decision trees of all the points that were raised in the comment file, what decisions they would be, what evidence did we have, and what were the course of recommendations. I find today, now, with a little more than 2 years as a commissioner, I see none of that work product being presented to the, or at least for my review in how I think about the decisions that need to be made at the commission level. And in fact, on one early recollection I have when I became a commissioner is I was actually told by the staff, well, we haven't prepared a summary, but you can go read the public comment files on the SEC website.
So it doesn't seem like Mark Ueda too impressed with Gary Gensler's performance. Below average is generous, says Matt Tabone here. I think Gensler has done an exceptional job if his goal was to destroy and hold back crypto in the United States. Someone give him a participation medal. And can we get a real SEC chair and a new administration while we're at it? Well, guys, there has been some updates on some SEC restructuring too. First, I wanted to show you this. I confronted SEC Chair Gensler with a deceptively simple question. Is a Yankee ticket a security? This coming from Richie Torres. He's a representative in Congress. And I think he stumps him up pretty good here. Listen to this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Gensler, suppose I were to sell you a Yankee ticket and tell you that the Yankee ticket could appreciate in value and could be resold at a profit in the secondary market. And as is the case with all sports tickets, suppose the proceeds from the sale of the Yankee ticket goes toward paying for the Yankee game. By selling you the Yankee ticket, am I entering into an investment contract with you and therefore conducting an unregistered security offering?
I appreciate the question. I don't know all the facts and circumstances, but I don't think so. I know where we're headed here, Representative, but I don't think so in that Yankee.
So a Yankee ticket is not, and why is a Yankee ticket not a security?
Well, it's really a question, and the courts have been clear on this, is the offer and sale.
Specifically with a Yankee ticket, though, when you're buying a Yankee ticket, what are you purchasing?
You're buying
access to a Yankee game. Is that fair to say?
I understand. It's been a while since I went to a Yankee game, but that's...
You're welcome to a Yankee game.
I used to live in New York, and my three daughters were all born in New York.
So in the Stoner Cats case, the creators were selling an NFT that offered access to an animated web series. From the standpoint of federal securities law, is there a legal difference between buying a Yankee ticket that offers you the experience of a Yankee game and buying an NFT that offers you the experience of an animated web series?
again, I don't want to comment on any one specific,
Well, it was a settlement, it's a fait accompli.
but-
It's not an ongoing litigation. You can comment on it.
but it's about how is something offered and sold, and is it offered and sold as an investment contract? Or are individuals looking to a common enterprise anticipating profits based on the
Well,
efforts?
I'm familiar with the definition, and you're avoiding the question.
Looks like Gary Gensler can't even describe the difference. An NFT or a Yankee ticket, he cannot beyond a reasonable doubt prove that NFTs are securities. And so, this is where the SEC is just falling apart. CEDAR Information Foundation posted this, another clip of Hester Pur here. Gary Gensler's regulation by enforcement approach to crypto is not only hurting American consumers, but also trust in American institutions.
So Commissioner Pur, this regulation by enforcement approach, is it really superior to having Congress give you statutory direction?
It's a very bad approach to trying to regulate an industry if you're trying to protect investors, if you're trying to shepherd the Commission's resources well. It's very inefficient. And at the end of the day, it leaves everyone wondering where the lines of our authority are. That we have lots of areas where our authority is very clear, and we could spend our enforcement resources there, and we could spend our regulatory resources trying to provide clarity about what doesn't fit within our jurisdiction, and then we could leave the rest to Congress.
Well, it's a good thing Warren Davidson has come up with a solution here. Chad Steingraber retweeting this out. I think Warren Davidson was the original one to tweet this out. A restructuring of the SEC. The SEC restructuring will eliminate a central head body like Gary Gensler and democratize the SEC similar to the Supreme Court. So this is the old structure. Clearly, there's an SEC chair at the head. But what they're saying is what he wants to do is give it a more democratized feel here, have the commissioners have equal say, and just have an executive director there facilitating the process. So guys, is this going to happen? I mean, has the SEC blown it so bad that now they kind of have no choice but to restructure? And guys, what is this going to mean for cryptocurrency? I think this bull run is going to feel very different than former bull runs. This is why you have to be prepared. This is why you should be ready at the drop of a hat. If this market moves, be ready to go. And for more information on what I'm trading this bull run and what I'm going to be doing, what my plan is, all the ins and outs, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.